Gun.
Do this for me, Ock. Bring that, slide it up on the big screen so I can see it. Con. The water. We live? We are live. Con. All praises be to the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. For truly his mercy endure forever. Salakli, thank you for tuning in for another Wednesday wisdom class. And as you know, we're about to go over these announcements. Coming real soon. This Sunday, the Feast of Dedication. The Feast of Dedication, we'll be holding it this Sunday starting at 7 p.m. The address, 6800 Sunset Strip, Sunrise, Florida, zip code 33313. And as always, try to tune into the classes. Last night was a powerful class. The powerful chief minister brought out with the powerful Captain number one. We went into the understanding of how you should have good credit. Even in this wicked society, there's nothing wrong with having good credit, knowing how to maneuver. As we know, scriptures tell us money is a defense. So we should understand how this wicked world works. We should be able to use the world, but not be a part of this world. So if you missed that, you can always tune in, log into the YouTube page and tune into the Flex FM radio show, Bring It Out show, as they call it, with Chief Minister Shalimar and also Amawan. Today is Wednesday. As you know, we bring out the Wednesday Wisdom. Thursday, we have our soldiers class for all the men. So if you are located in South Florida, try to make your way here to the school and get that understanding. We got the Captain Zamar bringing that class out now. Friday, we go over the history, learning the history and the understanding of what Yasharala went through. We got Elder Lapalau, Bishop Lapalau, I should say, that teaches that class, and also the powerful Captain Monatazak, which I have as my reader today. This is a special occasion to bring a Levite in the building and to sit down with me, and we go over these scriptures. We was going over some Hebrew as we was even coming here tonight. Saturday, as you know, is the Torah portion, so always tune in to the Torah portion here at the headquarters, 12 o'clock sharp. We started that class up, and also we got Miami-Dade with Captain Amawan over there and the other powerful captains bringing out that Torah portion. You got Lee County. We got people over there, the Captain Kadash and other captains over there bringing out their Torah portion. The Treasure Coast, they start theirs at 1 o'clock, but you can always tune in to them and doing their Torah portion. And for those that are located in Georgia, we got a school up there now, Augusta, Georgia. Try to log in with them and tune in and watch their classes and even try to visit. Show the brothers some love up there as we trying to build schools up and spread this word through the four corners. And as always, like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share with all the channels so this truth can get spread through the four corners of this earth. And with no delay, we talked about it last week. One of the people that was online brought it out that said he brought something to my attention. I said I was going to just touch on it a little bit today. It's the little history on that. So we're going to dive into that in First Ezra. But before we get started, as you know, we always read Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17. When you got it, King, go ahead and read that for me.
The book of Colossians chapter 3 verse 17.
Kind.
And whatsoever we do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Adonai Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by him.
So whatever we do in our words or deeds, we always give thanks to the Adonai Hamashach Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, giving thanks to the power that's in heaven, which is our Abba. So with no further delay, I paused going over the Sirach so we can just touch on this. And let's get it. First Ezra chapter 3, verse 1. So we can get an understanding. It ain't too much understanding in here, but again, this is life lessons. Life lessons. The stuff that is said here, we see it in our everyday walk. So there should be no excuses of why we bringing this out. It's some wisdom that you can rock with. Read that for me, King.
First Ezra chapter 3 verse 1 in the Red Apocrypha, page 3. Now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects and unto all his household, and unto all the princes of Media and Persia,
Uh-huh.
and to all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were under him, from India unto Ethiopia, of 127 provinces.
So he ruled a lot of area at this time under King Darius. Keep going.
And when they had eaten and drunken, and being satisfied, were gone home, then Darius the king went into his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awaked. Then 3 young men that were of the guard that kept the king's body spake one to another.
So you got the king sleeps, he's awake, and then you got his guards that's standing outside his door guarding the body, and they start to speak amongst themselves. Go ahead.
Let every one of us speak a sentence.
Uh-huh.
He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others. Unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts and great things in token of victory.
Now, mind you, they're saying this amongst themselves. King Darius is not aware of this at this point. Keep going.
As to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold, and a chariot with bridles of gold, and a head tire of fine linen, and a chain about his neck.
Yep.
And he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin.
Pause right there. He was sitting next to Darius because of what?
And he shall sit to Darius because of his wisdom.
So that's another reason why we dive into this. We're going to see what is a wise saying. And the person that sits next to the king, he's going to have the wisdom. Keep reading for me, King.
And shall be called Darius his cousin.
Uh-huh.
And then everyone wrote his sentence, sealed it, and laid it under King Darius his pillow.
They put it under the man's pillow. This ain't no Tooth Fairy stuff going on right here. Keep going, King.
And said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and of whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge, that his sentence is the wisest. To him shall the victory be given, as was appointed. The first wrote, wine is the strongest.
What?
Wine is the strongest.
Remember that, wine. Think about, what does wine do to you in the midst going through your daily lives? What have you seen what wine has done to people? Think about that. Precept?
Gone.
What you got for me?
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
Salakia, you want me to start from verse 4?
Let me see. Proverbs 31.
Gone. It is not for kings to drink wine. Salakia.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 4.
You know what? Start at 3 and then go into 4.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Give not thy strength unto women,
Yep.
nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
What?
Destroyeth kings.
Uh-huh.
It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law.
Lest they what?
Lest they drink and forget the law.
Keep going.
And pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish.
So when you about to exit out, give them some strong drink. Keep going.
And wine unto those that be of heavy hearts.
And we're going to see why you give wine to those that are of heavy heart. Keep going.
Let him drink and forget his poverty.
Yep.
And remember his misery no more.
Yep. That's it on that. Wait. Nah, that's it on that. Let's go back. Verse 10.
Okay, come on. First Ezra chapter 3, verse 10. The first wrote, wine is the strongest.
Yep.
The second wrote, the king is strongest.
Uh-huh.
The third wrote, women are strongest. But above all things, truth beareth away the victory.
You see how he continued on. He ain't just write his sentence. He added more to it. But above all things, truth beareth away the victory. So we're going to see what the truth is. Not yet, but keep reading for me.
Now when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him, and so he read them.
Now, mind you, the king didn't hear what they had just, in a sense, they was outside the king's door and they made a bet. After everybody been drinking, they had a merry good old time, and it's like we do with little kids. What would you do if you did this and that? And what would you do for $1 million type thing? And that's what they betted on. Keep going.
Now when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him, and so he read them. And sending forth, he called all the princes of Persia and Media, and the governors, and the captains, and the lieutenants, and the chief officers, and sat him down in the royal seat of judgment, and the writings were read before them. And he said, call the young men, and they shall declare their own sentences. So they were called and came in. And he said unto them, declare unto us your mind concerning the writings.
Tell us what you meant when you wrote this down. Go ahead.
Then began the first, who had spoken of the strength of wine. And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine. It causeth all men to err.
It does what?
It causeth all men to err.
Yep.
That drink it.
Pause right there. Now we just read in Proverbs 31. Give not that. Wait, Salaki, verse 4. Verse 5, Salaki. Lest I drink and forget the law. This is how you going to err. If you drinking too much, you might slip up and forget the law and do wild stuff caught up in that drink. And another Proverbs, as we already done brought out in the scriptures, you shouldn't sit down with another man's wife and drink that wine because it can cause you to err. You shouldn't be sitting with another man's wife drinking that wine. Again, wine can cause a man to err, and we done all been through it. Before we came into this truth, we used to get that wine or that strong drink, and we saw what it did. You at the club, and you see what goes on when people start drinking. They got that funky music playing, the lights blinking, it's dim. Can I say it? All hell is about to break loose.
So I have two precepts.
Bring them out.
Because the big cap, he made a good point on that. Because wine it's a great thing for us. It's like the scripture says. And I'm about to bring the precept out. It says in Surah 31:27, wine is as good as life to a man. If
is a small word but a big meaning. Keep going.
If it be drunken moderately.
How?
If it be drunk moderately.
You sip on it. There's no need to try to drink the whole bottle in 10 minutes.
Because if it's not drunken moderately, then you can lead into something what? Becoming an alcoholic.
Yep.
Because like a lot of so-called black and Hispanics, which we deal with every day, every week, a lot of them are alcoholics.
Yep.
Because they get drunk because they're stressed and we're living in captivity. Black and Hispanics are living in hell. So you know what? You get drunk because you're trying to escape this reality.
Now, I don't know how many people don't witness this dealing with the Indians.
Right.
The so-called Indians.
Right.
How that's one of the main things in their community, drunkenness.
All right. I remember that sister was bringing out, I forgot which of the 5 Seminole families she came out of. I think it was
in Florida?
Yeah, in Florida.
Blackfoot.
Blackfoot? Yeah, it was that one. And she was bringing out how a lot of the Seminoles, they're drunks. A lot of them are drunks. A lot of suicides were happening from the age of 14 to 15, 16. There was a lot of molestation that was going on. She was bringing all of that. So he's right. Go ahead.
So that's one of the things that deals with alcohol. We cannot get caught up. Drink moderately. There's nothing wrong with having a little sip here and a little sip there. Even at all our functions, we sip on some wine. But it got to come to that point where you got to understand, okay, I'm at my tolerance level. Let me slow down. Be ye sober-minded. And we can't be sober-minded if we getting drunk. Drunk off our, I ain't going to say that part, drunk off our butts.
Right.
Falling over. Sitting up. you falling asleep and pissing on yourself because you that drunk.
Right.
You got more?
Yeah, because you can't even enjoy it, because Scripture says wine is good to a man.
Yeah.
You know, you enjoy your time. You're trying to have a nice, peaceful time. You know, you're enjoying the feast of the Lord. You want to drink wine, and then this brother comes out of nowhere. You know, he abuses the thing that the Most High gave us to enjoy his festivities. You know what I mean? He gets drunk, then he starts spilling secrets out, talking about other brothers and sisters' businesses.
Not yet, because let's keep reading, because it goes into all that. Because again, you got another precept.
I got a precept for that. But you want to hold on?
Hold on to that. Because again, it's about to break down. And all you got to do is look around and prove that. They tell us that, again, the reason why I'm diving into the Apocrypha a lot, because they say this book shouldn't go with this book. It should be separate. That's why they took it out. There's no truth in it. Well, we about to see is there some truth in it, just dealing with strong drink or drinking on the wine vines. Let's go, Op.
What verse did we left off on?
Verse there, at the bottom towards 18.
18.
Yeah, 18.
Okay, come on. First Ezra chapter 3, verse 18.
Okay.
And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine! It causes all men to
Wait,
err.
that's the current thing. All men. So don't think you above all men. You will err too.
I'm not the common person, though. I'm not the common person.
Oh,
which you're always going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going.
O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine! It causeth all men to err that drink it.
Yep.
It maketh the mind of the king and of the father's child to be all one.
All one. So if you're a king, a fatherless child, you became the same person after drinking that drink. Keep going.
Of the bondman and of the free man.
You bond, you a slave, you free, you get drunk. White boy wasted or black boy wasted. Y'all the same now. Keep going.
Of the poor man and of the rich.
You got all the money in the world and that poor man sitting on the block. Y'all become the same once you put that drink in you. Keep going.
It turneth also every thought into jollity and mirth, so that a man remembereth neither sorrow nor depth.
See, and that's what it said. A man that's full of sorrows in Proverbs 31, give him some wine. He don't want to remember that stuff. That's one of the things, and that's another thing they say about alcohol.
Right.
It's a depressant.
Right.
It is considered a drug and a depressant. It's a downer. You drink beer, wine, strong drink, you get then you throw on that, then you throw on some other spirit. You drinking spirits and then you throw on some other spirits that's playing the music. Now, depending on what kind of music you're listening to, these all kind of spirits you about to start dealing with now. Right, you got the slow song playing, you starting to cry. You start listening to that Little John, throw it up and all this other stuff. Now you in the club, you hey man, the drink is the marijuana. Oh, you just sit back and want to look at stars and start jotting out stuff, talking about why do they do stuff like this. Why do they call how you said it?
I got
No, hold on. It's this one.
Why do you? This is real. Someone told me this.
Check it out. This is one of them. When you transport stuff in a ship, they call it cargo. But when you transport it in the car, they call it a shipment. You get spoken and you start saying some wild stuff, man. Thinking craziness. What you got? What you had?
I remember this one. Why do we call? This is in the midst of being influenced. Brothers was telling me this. Why would you call an airplane an airplane if it's not flown? It's usually on the floor. So why do we call it airplane? And he was like, I was like, oh my God, you're a drug addict.
See, that's the wildness.
Oh my God,
that's the craziness that we coming out.
Crazy stuff, man.
Go ahead, keep going.
Okay, there you go. Verse 20. No, verse 21. And it maketh every rich so that a man remembereth neither king nor governor. Mm-hmm. And it maketh to speak all things by talents.
Make it to do what?
And it maketh to speak all things by talents.
You speaking everything. You should keep your lips sealed, but there you go talking. Keep going.
And when they are in their cups, they forget their love both to friends and brethren.
Uh-huh.
And and a little after draw out swords.
That's when you see them people drinking out on that, as they used to call it, that E&J or Easy Jesus. You drinking on that hen dog, that Remy, and these are drinks, or that gin. You starting to fight now. You drinking drinks that literally make you want to fight. You literally say, man, every time I drink that, man, it make me want to fight. So why you keep drinking it? It doesn't make no sense. But guess what? Our people get caught up in the same, what's the word I want to use? In the same cycle of things, especially in life. You go to work. Huh?
Oxymoron.
Yeah, that's what they are. Oxymoron.
They want to change, but they don't change anything in their life.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
What precept you bringing out? Because you had one earlier.
Yeah, I got one. So yeah.
Shalom, Akim. Shalom, everybody that's online. Mazel War, Shalom, family.
Listen, if
Highlands
you're on the live,
County. Shalom, Shalom.
So if you're on the live, make sure to like the video, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to do that.
Spread this truth. Spread this truth.
Yeah, I got some.
What you got for me?
Proverbs chapter 20, verse 1.
Wine
is a mocker.
Mm-hmm.
Strong drink is raging.
What?
Strong drink is raging. And whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise.
Nope. If you deceived by the drink, you are not wise, because you let this little grapes or this ferment liquor or this ferment piece liquid get your mind gone. They call it wine and spirits for a reason. There's no joke about this. You drink that drink, best believe certain spirits are going to come. If you battling something and you drink, guess what you probably did? You done probably gave that spirit some energy. So we all, self-included, we all got to remember what happens when you try to sip on that drink. If you can't handle it, guess what? There ain't nothing wrong with saying, no, I'm good. I'm going to go ahead, look at this, be with my Akim and have fun that way. Got another precept?
Yeah, I got another precept. So right, 31, verse 27, I didn't really finish that. I'm gonna continue it and go on. Wine is as good as life to a man if it be drunken moderately. What life is then to a man that is without wine? For it was made to make men glad.
It was made to make men glad. What else?
Wine measurably drunk and in season bringeth gladness of the heart.
Did it say measurably?
Yes.
So when you measure it, not saying you got to measure your drink, but when you drink it right and at the right time, it makes you glad. It's good. It's in the right season to drink it. It don't got to be drunken every day, but in the right season, yeah, this is a good time to have it. Hey, matter of fact, guess what's the good season? The Feast of Dedication is a good season. We can drink, be merry with each other, be happy.
And when is that again?
Sunday, November 28th.
I just wanted to remind the people,
Kind.
November 28th with Eli Zion. But verse 29. But wine drunken with excess maketh bitterness of the mind.
What?
Maketh bitterness of the mind. With brawling and quarreling, drunkenness increaseth the rage.
Hey, man, you can't do that. Quarreling, you going back and forth on something that's minute, dumb. And you about to fight your brother over this. Why? Because you let the drink take over. He done let the drink take over. The sober one coming up, he been hitting the herb, and now he trying to be the peacemaker. Hey, man, it's okay, man. Let's just put everything down, man. Peacemaker. And next thing you know, fight breaks out. It's a suit, and everybody getting hurt. People going to jail. Why? Because of that drink. Y'all even say it in the songs. I want to get white boy wasted. White boy wasted. Y'all done seen how they do it, and now y'all want to do it just like they do it. White boy wasted. But hey, can't tell me the scriptures ain't true, because it's showing you clearly how our people act. And not just our people, but everybody.
Right.
He just brought out the statistics. Well, we ain't pull the statistics out, but all you got to do is go look it up. The Native American is literally committing suicide because of drink. It's a depressant. You drink, you might end up killing yourself, because all these thoughts now start racing towards your head. Next thing you know, why should I live? Why shall I go on? That's them spirits in that drink causing all this to happen. But keep going, King. You still in Sirach 31?
Con.
Keep going.
Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool till he offend. Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool till he offend. He diminisheth strength and maketh wounds. It's like it.
He diminished his strength and make a wound. So he can literally be weakened and cause himself to be hurt. And that's the crazy part. Now, the reason I can talk about this, especially on that aspect, I used to do security in clubs. And I ain't just do it in any kind of club. I did it in the hoodest of hood clubs, right, where they get gone, roasted, wasted, where they don't remember what happened the last time they was there. And I got other people around me trying to influence me in the sense of when you taking somebody out of the club and you're a security, they want you to literally do bodily harm to them. But if you can see clearly the man is drunk, he don't know what he's doing. This one time, this dude's strength was diminished. And they told me to pick him up and boom him. Because I was known for picking people up and booming them. The security that worked with me, he was known for one-hitter quitters. Boop. He'll hit you one time, I'll catch you and boom you. You gone. Done data. And the crazy part, he was shorter than me. So he had one of them Napoleon complexes. And he was a goddamn the juvenile detention center officers.
Damn, I can't remember. I can't remember what it's called.
A detention officer, whatever it's called.
Oh, it's something else. I forgot.
He was one of them in a juvenile. Yeah. He worked with little kids, and he was, hey man, it was wild. But one day, this dude came in the club drunk. They tried kicking him out. This dude wanted to come back in the club and wanted to try to fight me. And I'm like, really, dude, you drunk? Why would you even? A quick taekwondo move, leg sweep, take him down, hold him down. Like, dude, go home. Relax. Go to sleep right here, matter of fact. But he came back the next week like nothing happened. Like he literally didn't remember. He trying to come in the club and nobody letting him in the club. They had to call him, hey, man, it's okay. He come in. I'm like, what you mean? Is he fine with me? He got to control how much he is drinking. What you mean? What happened? Dude, you out here trying to fight people. And you trying to fight me on top of it. For no reason. Hey, man, that's that drink. Let's keep going. What you got?
Oh, well, you know, that's something that's a common trend amongst Black and Hispanics. You know, alcoholism. That's
yeah.
the word. Alcoholism is raging in our neighborhoods. You know, and a lot of us, we don't just grow up and want to be an alcoholic. A lot of us get this from our parents.
Yep.
This is the reason why this is so adamant that we have this class about wisdom. For us to learn how to get rid of that weed, get rid of that drinking, get rid of being an alcoholic and drug user from what? Daily wisdom right here.
Okay.
Right. So where are we?
Verse 22.
22. First Ezra chapter 3, verse 22.
Okay.
And when they are in their cups, they forget their love, both to friends and brethren. And a little after draw out swords. Mm-hmm. But when they are from the wine, they remember not.
They what?
They remember not.
So after that, like I was bringing out, that dude that next day, he didn't remember what happened. Keep going.
They remember not what they have done.
Yep.
O ye men, is not wine the strongest that enforceth to do thus? And when he had so spoken, he held his peace.
So right now, it got everybody in that chamber like, dang, that's right. A couple of y'all that's probably watching this is like, you know what? That might be right. Wine is the strongest out of the three things that was named. But let's keep going. Let's see. Chapter 4, verse 1.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Then the second that had spoken of the strength of the king began to say, O ye men, do not men excel in strength that bear rule over sea and land, all things in them? But yet the king is more mighty, for he is Lord of all these things, and have dominion over them. And whatsoever he commanded them, they do.
Pause right there. Now this is going into, because it's talking about the king, so you know what this is dealing with? Power. Mm-hmm. As they say, money and power. Because when you're a king, more than likely you have money. And with that comes power. and you think you're going to get respect because of that. It's a song. Look at it. It's crazy, though, but go ahead, keep reading.
And whatsoever he commanded them, they do.
Mm-hmm.
If he bid them make war the one against the other, they do it. If he send them out against the enemies, they go.
Yep.
And break down mountains, walls, and towers.
Pause right there. Now, we in the USA under Satan authority right now, but under Satan's authority in the USA of America, we got a person who's supposed to be the most powerfulest man on the earth. And what do we call him?
The president.
The president. Now, this president can send people into places.
Right.
To fight, to bring down walls, to cause wars. This is a powerful man.
You made a good point. With the whole thing with Afghanistan, he had us in Afghanistan for all them years, looking for what weapons of mass destruction.
Dude,
You
and
made
that's
a
the
good
trip.
point, Cap.
No, I just happened to see this little meme too on top of it.
Right.
Dude talking about, I'm happy to be American on this day. The people ran in and they was fighting these people over here in Afghanistan and this. Dude, you invaded somebody's land.
Right.
What you think they supposed to do? Just say, okay, you can come do whatever you want to do. But mind you, they don't go invade South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And they show that they got stuff. They don't go invade Colombia like that, and they say drugs come from there.
Right.
So why they don't invade all these other spots that causes the more violence, if not the same violence in all these other places? So we got to really think about what is going on. Why are they even doing this?
Right.
We got to think about these things.
Go ahead, Cap.
You good?
Con.
Okay. All right.
Set up a cybercast.
All right.
First Ezra chapter 3, verse 4.
4.
Salakia, verse 4. Cotton?
No, chapter 4.
Oh, Salakia, I just said chapter 3, but I was actually looking at chapter 4.
All right, Con.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
If he bid them make war the one against the other, they do it.
Pause. You know what that's called, right? United Nations.
Right.
We're going to put and they did this to my brother's country. Damn, what the thing called where you put something on a country and they can't buy stuff? I can't think of the word.
Sections?
Not sections, but I want to say embargoes, but it's not embargoes.
It's not embargoes?
Is it embargoes? I forget the word for it. But all in all, that's what they did to Haiti.
It was one of those two.
To where, don't trade with Haiti. Haiti got most of the powerful stuff we can use, but no, don't trade with them. One president can say this, and he'll get a lot of people to fall in line. We're not about to ship nothing over there because
embargo.
It is embargo? Kind. All right. I know some words, they just be escaping my mind. But embargoes that they put on certain countries. Oh, you did this to Syria? Well, we're not going to ship this over here because Russia and China said so. Oh, you're not going to do that, Russia and China? Well, if you do that, I'm going to make sure I set my troops up over here to let you know we ain't about that. You're going to send them that over there because we got money tied up all over there. This is how stuff operates. This is how these things goes down. So it's talking about the power right now of a man, or the king is talking about. Let's keep going.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 5.
4 again.
4 again?
Okay.
If he bid them make war the one against the other, they do it.
Yep.
If he send them out against the enemies, they go.
Yep.
And break down mountains, walls, and towers.
What kind of towers? Let me stop. I ain't going to go there. Let's keep reading. I'm not going there. Let's go.
They slay and are slain.
Yep.
And transgress not the king's commandment.
Because the king said it, we're going, darn it. Keep going.
If they get the victory, they bring all to the king, as well the spoil, as all things else. Likewise, for those that are no soldiers, and have not to do with wars, but use husbandry, when they have reaped again that which they have sown.
Pause right there. These people, read that again. Read 6 again. Oh, my goodness. If that's not Afghanistan and all over there, likewise.
Likewise, for those that are no soldiers.
They're not soldiers. Answer this question for me.
Right.
What's the Afghanistan uniform look like?
Oh, regular clothes. Robes.
They're not soldiers. The Afghanistan has no uniforms, but yet you out there shooting people.
Right.
Because these people are trying to protect their homes, because that's why they do the craziness they do. Now, we're over here. We're no Muslims at all. But as a man, you should be able to see the injustice that goes on. You should be able to point out stuff like, hey, that's not right. Mm-hmm. Muhammad said it great. Why you want me to go over there and fight the Vietnamese? They never called me nigga.
Right.
But y'all calling me nigga. But okay, you force these men to go over there and fight for you, handle that, and come back and say, guess what, nigger? You ain't sitting in this restaurant.
Don't drink from this fountain.
You're not drinking from this fountain. Now, mind you, that's probably some of the best stuff, and we should have kept that up. You might say, why would he say that? Why should we keep segregation going? Because when we went ahead and joined hands with them, our kids stopped going to school at the age of 16 and 15, and I'm talking about college. Our kids used to be in college at the age of 15 and 16. We was a lot doctors and lawyers and this and that, had our own businesses. Our mind focus was something different than what it is once we say, okay, let's join hands, sing Skip to the Loo, and call it a day.
I'll say, Cap, before segregation, we had the black families.
Yeah,
we had the nuclear families, right?
Yeah.
Right, and now we don't. We're destroyed.
Now, you had some bad apples.
Right.
But it's not like it is now.
Right.
To where Jacksonville, they shoot and rob and kill each other. And they got the thing coming up now in the Bronx. I don't care, you my cousins. You represent that. Keep reading, King. It's just wild, man. Verse 6, because, again, we don't know what the Afghanistan uniform look like. Because they're not soldiers.
Likewise, for those that are no soldiers and have not to do with wars.
They don't got nothing to do with the war. But yet you over there shooting at them. Keep going.
But use husbandry. When they have reaped again that which they have sown, they bring it to the king and compel one another to pay tribute unto the king.
Now, you got to pay us money because we was over there fighting. Keep going, man.
And yet he is but one man, and if he command to kill, they kill.
I need y'all to go over there and drop a bomb on them because they got weapons of mass destruction. Keep going.
If he command to spare, they spare.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and let this man go free. We're not going to hold him accountable for what the rest of y'all done did. Keep going.
If he command to smite, they smite.
I need y'all to take this president, let's call his name, you know who they hung up. It's a lot of people, they did that when that time was going on in 2012, 2013, along the northern borders of Africa, how all these different presidents or so-called leaders got taken down. And even with the same president over in Haiti, all of a sudden, his 3 soldiers wasn't around his bedroom chamber.
Right.
Making the same things because, hey, man, I'm not going there, man. Let's keep going. You got to think. That's all I'm saying.
If he command to smite, they smite. If he command to make desolate, they make desolate.
Atomic bomb, Hiroshima. Go ahead.
If he command to build, they build.
We're going to blow you up and then we're going to rebuild you and give you money after we blew your stuff up. Keep going.
If he command to cut down, they cut down.
Mm-hmm.
If he command to plant, they plant.
Yep.
So all his people and his armies obey him. Furthermore, he lieth down. He eateth and drinketh and taketh his rest.
And nobody is trying to mess with him like that. Keep going.
And these keep watch round about him, neither may any one depart and do his own business, neither disobey they him in anything.
And now they call that the Secret Service because they're around the president 24/7. He in the room sleeping, and they out there standing guard, just like these guards. That's what was going on with these guards. That's why that guard can speak from that aspect because he saw how his king operated. But the king can do something wild, and guess what they'll do? They won't say a word because he's the king. Keep going.
O ye men, how should not the king be mightiest? When in such sort he is obeyed, and he held his tongue.
So we done went over two things. Now they thinking about, dang, the why versus the king. Which one is better, I wonder. But we got a third one. Let's go. Let's see what this third one does.
Then the third, who had spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak.
Yeah, you see how they called out who he was. It's a reason for that. But keep going. That's your homework. Who is this man? Do your homework and tell me who this man was next week. Most High, if you would come back, type it in the section and let me know. Shalom, family. Sanctions, Khan, the water. Adon Yashua, the water for that. Sanctions. Everybody bringing out sanctions. Khan, I love that. Trade embargoes. That's another one, too. Trade embargoes. That was the one I was really looking for. Mountains are governments. Khan,
The first one I said.
huh?
That was the first one I said.
Yeah, Khan. The water for y'all online. I love that. I love that. The water. Let's keep going.
Verse 14. O ye men, is it not the great king, nor the multitude of men? Neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them, or have the lordship over them? Are they not women?
What?
Are they not women?
Keep going.
Women have borne the king, and all the people that bear rule by sea and land. Even of them came they, and they nourished them up. They that planted the vineyards, from whence the wine cometh. These also make garments for men. These
Pause right there. Because I don't want nobody getting confused thinking this is about worship of women.
Yeah.
Because that's some people are running to that now. Some people are running to that and be like, see, that's why the woman is God.
Right.
Because she's the greatest. She's the greatest and the most best thing out there. I'm logging in because I can look at the comments because nobody's sitting over there in front of me.
Is it all right for me to say something?
Con.
All right, Khan. So as we go further, you have to understand all these things besides Zerubbabel, all these things is just trying to find out what's the strongest based off carnality or based on carnal things, right? Nobody's brought up besides Zerubbabel talking about truth. And we didn't even get there yet.
What?
Right. Huh?
What you just said?
Besides Zerubbabel talking about truth.
Truth.
Right.
There you go.
We didn't even get there yet. These other two men didn't talk about wisdom, didn't talk about patience, having faith, and they talk about any of that.
Nope.
They're just talking about carnal things. That's why the first one was wine, right? Because anyone can tap into having wine.
Yep.
Right? That's why he said the poor man can get wine, the child can get wine, the king can get wine. Everyone can get that.
And become the same when they get it.
Right. The second thing was the king.
The king.
Right?
The power.
Because everybody, it doesn't matter what position you play in any kingdom, everybody can see the power of the king. That's why people assassinate kings so they can take his place.
Yep.
Because they see that he has all these authorities. So,
but the crazy part is, as you about to get there, why do they do it?
Because they want that power.
Nah, not the power. With power comes what?
Oh, responsibility.
No, man, this is not Spider-Man. This boy talking about with power comes great responsibility. This boy, he went to Spider-Man. No, we gonna get to it because he already saying it in the third one. That's why men go do dumb stuff. But he gonna say it. He gonna say it. Where you stopped off at?
Verse 14.
Okay.
Well, not 14. Salakia. Actually, verse.
Born of women 15. Read 15 again because you was right there. 16.
I think it was 17. Garments.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Verse 17. These also make garments for men. These bring glory unto men. Without women cannot men be.
Say that again. Without women cannot men be. This is a man's world. Without a woman.
Oh, right.
You feel me?
Right.
And you wondered why James Brown said that. Let's keep going.
Verse 18. Yea, If men have gathered together gold and silver or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman which is comely in favor and in beauty? Letting all those things go.
Doing what?
Letting all those things go.
Yep.
Do they not gape and even with open mouth fix their eyes fast on her?
Yep.
And have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold or any goodly thing whatsoever? A man leaveth his own father that brought him up and his own country
Yep.
and cleaveth unto his wife.
Pause right there. Now, I think everybody know about the story of Troy. Helen of Troy. How this man damn near left his own country, but it was a war and a fight over that, over a woman. One woman. Two people fought over this one woman, Helen of Troy. Keep going, King. Verse 21.
Con. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father nor mother nor country. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you.
He talking to them like, yeah, they got dominion. And they all looking at themselves like, what? Do they really?
Right.
No.
No, it can't be.
How though? Let's see how.
Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal,
Yep.
to sell upon the sea and upon rivers.
Because they trying to go get that almighty dollar. They want the power, and with the power, they think comes the woman. As Dave Chappelle said once, a man don't drive a Ferrari because he wants a Ferrari. He's driving the Ferrari because he know it can get the girl.
Right.
If man can sit in the box and get the woman, guess what he would do? Sit in the box and deal with that woman. But let's go. Keep reading.
Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal,
Yep.
to sail upon the sea and upon rivers.
I gotta go get these shrimps and these lobsters for her. We gonna get them big Alaskan crabs. Y'all done saw the show? Them boys are out there trying to get Alaskan crabs in horrendous weather, rocking that ship back and forth. Big steel cage fly around and hit you and kill you because you tried getting some crabs because that woman said, I want to eat good food. And you will take her to these places called like Red Lobster
You know what?
and all that. Go ahead.
You know what's a good example? With Napoleon Bonaparte.
Ooh.
Napoleon Bonaparte, the reason why he even began to lose the war to conquer all of Europe was because he went to Russia. He went to go conquer Russia. He went to go fight against Russia because his woman told him she wanted one of those fluffy hats the Russians wear. She wanted those fluffy hats. So he went over there to go fight Russia and lost. And that's what began the long decline to all his territories and his dominion.
For a fluffy hat.
Not for his wife.
Yeah.
For his woman.
Yeah.
Right.
Sent you to go do something dumb, and guess what
Right.
you did? Something dumb.
Right. Verse 24.
Uh-huh.
And looketh upon a lion and goeth the darkness and goeth in dark.
I gotta laugh because that was he looked at a lion and will go into darkness. I'm gonna fight this lion for this woman.
Right.
Hey man, men will do crazy things for a woman, boy. If you ain't grounded in wisdom, okay. Keep going, King.
Wherefore a man loveth his wife. So like
Yeah, 24.
24. And looketh upon a lion and goeth in the darkness. And when he hath stolen and spoiled and robbed, he bringeth it to his love.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother.
Yep.
Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
Out of their mind. I love you, and if you won't be with me, I'm gonna kill you and myself. Wait, what? Huh? That's when you get to that stage, you literally done lost your wits. She done got the best of you. And best believe in this day and age, these men out here, because they've been raised by single mothers, they got a lot of emotions in them. Right. When it shouldn't be like that. But keep going.
Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Mm-hmm. Many also have perished and have erred and sinned for women.
Now, what you saying, I don't want to bring this up, but I got to bring it up.
Right.
Now, I used to be in the streets, you feel me? Now, it was this one girl.
Go ahead, bring that testimony out.
And it wasn't me.
Go ahead, bring that testimony
But as being out there hearing it, I couldn't believe it.
Right.
It was this girl. They say the girl was so good. Mm-hmm. You feel me? But she was dating this dude. Mm-hmm. But like women do, they try to keep their options open and all that and start dealing with another dude. Why dealing with this dude?
Right.
They out on the street in the middle of a shootout with each other. Pip, 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 pip. One got hit, died. The other one went to jail. And guess what she's doing? Move to the next. She ain't wait for that dude that went to jail. She moved to the next. And all right. All right. Now, I know, again, we all wasn't born into the truth. Hopefully, we got kids that are born as we are in this truth, and they can be raised up in this truth. So they don't have to experience and see the things that we went through. But out in this world, they're going to see some things. All we can do is try to teach them not to follow them. Go in the route that everybody else is going. Let's be over here on the righteous side. Watch from a distance as they do the foolishness. Preferably as we at the Shabbat and we hear as it goes by. Keep going, King.
Oh, if I can make a few examples. It says, many also have perished and have erred and sinned for women. You know, a perfect example is Samson in the scriptures. Samson erred. Solomon erred. You know, righteous and powerful men just like this. Solomon was a king.
Yeah.
Samson was a judge in Israel.
Yeah.
So he was a ruler. So now showing that does not women rule over these men when it comes to carnal things? Yeah. In carnal things, yes. A man will become wicked as all hell just for a woman.
Yep.
He'll forget his wisdom.
Yep.
He'll give her his car, pay her bills, forget all sense of logic for a woman. Why are you paying her bills, brother?
Sunshine.
She lives in another country. Why are you paying her bills?
In another country, you don't see this woman and then say, I got catfished.
And you know what he's going to tell you? He's going to look at you. Brother, you just don't understand. She loved me. Because you crazy. Listen, man.
We have good conversations online.
Brother, you need counsel. That's what you need. Counsel. That's what you need.
Oh, boy. Typing online and people. Hey, and you can't help but bring that out. How these cats literally send money to all these women online. Some of them are not even women. You typing to a dude. And then when you call them up, I done talked to them. Don't you know in this day and age, they got them voice changers.
Oh, yeah, there is.
So you done got caught up thinking you was really talking to a girl, and it was a fat 60-year-old man that just wanted some more money.
You know, those voice changers, that's been giving that show, Catfish.
That's what I'm saying. I done seen it.
That's been giving them a lot of problems.
That's what I seen. I'm like, dude, really?
It'll be on the phone with a person. Can we plan out a meeting or a gathering at 3 p.m.? And it'll be a woman on the phone, and the person is a man.
And you go there looking at 3 o'clock like, where they at? Where they at? Is that you? Hi. Nope, they ain't. All right.
Nah, he's that dude sitting in the car over there in the parking lot.
Laughing.
Right.
They're going to call you on your cell phone saying, hey, something came up. Hey, man, it's a trip. Let's keep going, man. It's a trip.
Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes.
Yep.
Many also have perished and have erred and sinned for women.
Yep.
And none do ye not believe me?
And now.
And now do ye not believe me? Is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him? Yet did I see him. And Apami, the king's concubine, the daughter of an admirable Bartucus, sitting at the right hand of the king, and taking the crown from the king's head, and setting it upon her own head. She also struck the king with her left hand. And yet, for all this, the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth. If she laughed upon him,
oh boy,
he laughed also.
Dude, that's why I had to go over this, because the brother brought it out last week. It's just a trip, man. It's a trip. Keep going, man.
He laughed also. But if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to flatter, that she might be reconciled to him again. O ye men, how can it be but women should be strong, seeing thus do thus? Then the king and the princess looked one upon another. So he began to speak of the truth. So they're seeing
So
it. They're realizing it. Like, damn, we got me.
He did do that.
He was confounded. They were confounded.
Wait, what? She did slap me, and I laughed along with that. Because I want to be reconciled again. You know what reconciled again mean, right?
Let's get back together.
No,
I know what it means.
He wanted that.
Right,
Should I say it?
That. Yeah.
He wanted that sunshine. And if anybody ever looked at Harlem Nights, you know what sunshine is. See, that's who you saw Harlem Nights? Okay, you know who Sunshine was,
right?
I know it is. Okay. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted to be reconciled to that. We ain't going to give you the Hebrew word on that, because y'all might be paying too close attention. But let's keep going.
Verse 32. O ye men, how can it be but women should be strong, seeing they do thus? Then the king and the princes looked one upon another. So he began to speak of the truth. O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun in his course. For he compasseth the heavens round about, and fetcheth his course again to his own place in one day.
Yep.
Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things.
Ooh.
All the earth calleth upon the truth, and the heaven blesseth it. All works shake and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteous thing.
Yep.
Wine is wicked.
Carnal.
The king is wicked.
Carnal.
Women are wicked.
Carnal.
All the children of men are wicked.
Carnal and vain.
And such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. And their unrighteousness also they shall perish. As for the truth, it endureth, and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore.
Pause. Verse 37. That's what you was looking for earlier.
That was verse 37. So, can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
So this goes back to these things being carnal. Because when you go further, it says, all the children of men are wicked. So there's more examples, other things that are wise that they could have put on the table. Some people could have said, children are children are the greatest of all things. Because as much as they have to respect you and honor you, guess what? You're working those 3 jobs, guess what? To take care of those children.
Yep.
You're working those 3 jobs to take care of those children. You may not want to take care of those children anymore, but guess what? Your name is on that birth certificate, so now you're tied to that child, and you're paying child support.
Yep.
So guess what? Those things, guess what? You may believe the child has to honor you, but you serve that child. You serve him.
Think about that. I ain't even going to go here. I'm going to just say this real quick.
Right,
Even an animal. When that dog go around and poo-poo, and you walking around with a plastic bag on your hand and got to scoop it up.
Who really is the master? Right.
Pick it up and feed me when we get home. Come on, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Let's keep rocking. It's wild.
Verse 39. With her there is no accepting of persons or rewards, but she doeth the things that are just, and refraineth from all unjust and wicked things. And all men do well like of her works. Neither in her judgment is any unrighteousness. And she is the strength, kingdom, power, majesty of all ages. Blessed be the Most High of truth.
Now, when it was going, it was saying her, But don't get misconfused because it just told you what it was. Blessed be the Most High of truth. Blessed be the power of the truth.
Right.
Keep going.
And with that he held his peace. And all the people then shouted and said, great is truth.
Great is what?
Great is truth.
Not the woman, but the truth of the matter. Keep going.
Great is truth, and mighty above all things.
Come.
Then said the king unto him, ask what thou wilt more than is appointed in the writing, and we will give it thee.
Whatever you ask for, forget all that. I'm going to give you that plus some because you just broke it down. You just broke it. Now, mind you, imagine how our people would act when we out there in them streets teaching and we broke the truth down to them. They can literally look at it, sat back without a unbiased, what's the one word? Unbiased decision or unbiased opinion. And they just sit there and be like, you know what? You're right, man. What y'all want? We don't want nothing. We want you to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what we want. We got to get out of this captivity. I thought. Now. You got to get out of this captivity. You about to look for a precept? You got a precept? Keep going? All right. So, keep reading? All right, come on.
Oh, you going to say something?
Nah, go ahead.
And with that he held his peace. So like, yeah.
Verse 42, you start there.
It was 42?
Yeah.
Okay, it said 41. Okay, it was 42. Then said the king unto him, ask what thou wilt more than is appointed in the writing, and we will give it thee, because thou art found wisest, and thou shalt sit next me. Next, it should say next to me.
Yeah.
But next to me. And thou shalt be called my cousin. Then said he unto the king, remember thou vow which thou hast vowed to build Jerusalem in the day when thou camest to thy kingdom.
Yep.
And to send away all the vessels that were taken away out of Jerusalem, which Cyrus set apart when he vowed to destroy Babylon, and to send them again hither. Thou also hast vowed to build up the temple with the Edomites burned, which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldeans.
Yep.
And now, O Lord the King, this is that which I require, and which I desire of thee. And this is the price, the princely liberty proceeding from thyself. I desire, therefore, that thou make good the vow, and performance whereof with thine own mouth thou hast vowed to the King of heaven. Then Darius the king stood up and kissed him, and wrote letters for him unto all the treasurers and lieutenants and captains and governors, that they should safely convey on their way both him and all those that go up with him to build Jerusalem.
Yep.
Salakia. One thing I want to add on to the whole point about truth is that, the Most High said the truth shall set us free.
Okay.
But a lot of brothers don't understand that the fact that the Most High said the truth is going to set us free, it's not just us knowing our heritage and understanding that we're Israelites. It's the truth about everything about this world.
Okay.
It's the truth about this captivity. Because I remember a brother told me, he's like, hey, I learned I was Israelite, and it seemed like the more times pass by, I'm just learning there's more lies. Everything's a lie. You know what I mean? But that's what the Most High promised us. He promised us the truth. And the truth continually endures forever. That's all I want to say.
Con, you ain't lied on that. That's the truth. That's the truth of the whole matter right there.
You want to keep going? Or drop down anywhere?
Huh?
You want me to drop down anywhere or keep going?
Nah, keep going. We're going to read a little bit more.
Verse 48. He wrote letters also unto his lieutenants that were in Syria and Phoenicia, and unto Libanus, that they should bring cedar wood from Libanus unto Jerusalem, that they should build the city with him. Moreover, he wrote for all the Jews that went out of his realm up into Jewry, concerning their freedom, that no officer, no ruler, no lieutenant, no treasurer should forcibly enter into their doors, and that all the country which they hold should be free without tribute, and
Pause.
that the Edomites.
You can go ahead and jump down to verse 58.
58.
Okay.
Salakia. Verse 58. Now when now when this young man was gone forth, he lifted up his face to heaven toward Jerusalem and praised the King of heaven.
Yep.
And said, From thee cometh victory, from thee cometh wisdom, and thine is the glory, and I am thy servant.
Yep.
Blessed art thou who has given me wisdom.
And that's where wisdom come from. We walk around here professing like we got all the wisdom in the world, but we got to understand wisdom comes from the Most High. Every prayer, I ask for these righteous angels to come down and bestow wisdom upon the people that's listening. I'm just a vessel used by the Most High. And if everybody can't understand that we're just vessels used for the Most High, we are fit for destruction at any given time, we can't forget that. So we cannot take the glory from the Most High and bestow it upon ourselves. We always got to give the glory back to the Most High, because he was the originator of it from the very beginning. And that's the key thing we always got to remember. Keep going, King.
Blessed art thou who has given me wisdom, for to thee I give thanks, O Lord, our fathers, O Lord of our fathers. And so he took the letters and went out and came unto Babylon and told it all his brethren. And they praised the God of their fathers, because he had given them kingdom and liberty.
Freedom.
Salakias. Because he had given them freedom and liberty to go up and to build Jerusalem and the temple, which is called by his name. And they feasted with instruments of music and gladness 7 days.
Now pause. What is that called? That's just a regular feast day? Mm-hmm. All right. For 7 days? Mm-hmm. All right. They built the temple, right? Mm-hmm. Fine. So what we going to do November 28th?
We're going to celebrate we're going to celebrate the dedication of our temple from the Caucasian persuasion by the powerful hands of our ancestors and our veterans, Judas Maccabeus, Jonathan, Simon, Eleazar, and John, and chief above them all, our powerful priest and Levite, who would be a Haitian today, Mattathias, man, by the power of our beautiful power, Yahweh, man.
Con. So again, if you are located in South Florida, 6800 Sunset Strip.
The Village Civic Center.
What is called?
The Village Civic Center.
The Village Civic Center. Civic Center. 6800 Northwest. I don't know why I threw Northwest in there. 6800 Sunset Strip, Fort Lauderdale. Sunrise, Florida, 33313. The admission to get in is $20 for a single person. If you bring in the family, it's $50. So if it's 4 or 5 of y'all, $50 get all y'all in. If it's just one of y'all coming, $20 get you in the door. We starting at 7 o'clock. Most High willing, it could be 7 o'clock sharp, so we can go through the service and then be merry, glad, praise the Most High.
So like the big cap just said, we're gonna do all these things. Hanukkah is also the day where we rank up officers, troopers, captains, the higher rank, because Hanukkah is not only a day where we dedicate the temple, it's also the day where we dedicated when men stood up to fight for us and fight for our God and fight for our laws. Now, we don't just do that for brothers who are passed away, because the Most High is not the God of the dead, he's the God of the living. So we honor these men who have the same spirit today that are willing to fight for their God and for their laws today. And we honor these men by ranking them up on the day of dedication. So if you wanted to experience this, and I'm not talking about no dreidel like some Jewish boys. If you want to experience the true Hanukkah with your people, be here November 28th on Sunday with the Light of Zion.
Come. You get an experience looking online, but there's no experience like being there. When we had the Feast of Tabernacles and people came out for the Feast of Tabernacles, it was no experience than the sister that flew in from what, Massachusetts, up north somewhere. Her and her family.
Brother and sister came from North Carolina, South Carolina, from Philly, Jersey, and from New York. I mean, brothers and sisters coming from all over.
Dwell.
I mean, because that's LOZ right there.
Hey, it's nothing like doing it as a family.
Right.
As you see the day. Let me get at that real quick. Hebrews
what you got?
10 and 25 real quick.
I got you.
As you see the day approaching. As you see the day approaching, guess what we should be doing? Look at that, all praise it. Got it there.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves.
And not the assembly of some Thanksgiving nonsense or thanks-killing foolishness. Don't assemble yourselves for that. You got Hanukkah. You can wait 3 days to celebrate. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Feast of Dedication. Hanukkah. Celebrate that with the gathering. Gather with your family where you can feast and eat the good foods. Do it then. Don't do it doing that goddamn Thanksgiving. That's nonsense. Your brethren died on that day. But read that again for me.
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is.
Yep.
But exhorting one another.
Doing what?
Exhorting one another.
That's what he was talking about with the rank up. We're exhorting each other. Let them know you're not in this alone. We see the work you're putting in. That's what we do. Keep going.
And so much the more as you see the day approaching.
As you see the day approaching. As this earth get wicked and more wicked, guess what? The Most High is getting closer and closer and closer. Let me see who all online. There's a key. They keep scrolling down for me.
You usually take call-ins every week.
Yeah, usually I do some call-ins. One class elders, can you go over 2 Maccabees chapter 7? You went over that Friday?
2 Maccabees? No, I'm in 1 Maccabees.
First Maccabees?
Up to the temple. This Friday, tomorrow we're gonna be going. We're going to be in chapter 4. We're gonna be going into the dedicating the temple, and verse 37. I remember, but if we have enough time, then I'll go over 2 Maccabees chapter 7, if that's what they said, right? Because that's dealing with the children. I know what you're talking about.
Adon Yasharala.
Is that brother or sister?
Adon Yasharala. Adon Yasharala. So tune in to. Darn, is that a sister?
I think that's him.
This one, right?
Yeah.
I think this is where I'm going over this now.
Right.
Because they brought out First Ezra's.
Right.
So that's why I said I had to dive into the story because it was powerful. You say you're going to dive into it Friday?
If I have enough time, I'll go over it. If you call in tomorrow, because I'm going to have the phone lines open.
Friday.
If you call
2
in
days.
Friday. It's like I said, tomorrow. I mean Friday. If you call in Friday, then and remind me, then I'll go into it if we have enough time after we finish 1 Maccabees chapter 4.
So Orlando, what did I say? Bonner? Bonner. I'm going to say Bonner. Shalom family. Yep, they keep hitting them joints, and that's why we got to try to get them down. Light of Zion, Bonacud, Shalom. P Mafia, Facts, Kun, the water. LaQuab Rob, I think that's it. Sanctions, he the one that threw that sanctions out there for me. Shalom, the water for everybody logging in. Chad Robinson, Shalom family, thank you for logging in. Again, try to remember to hit that like button. West 6, Shalom family, the water for logging in. But again, try to remember to hit that like button, subscribe, tune in to all the channels that we have here at the Light of Zion. I'm going to try to, we've got enough time
to
touch on it.
Yeah, we got some.
Let's see if you can touch on it real quick.
What are you trying to get?
The 2 Maccabees. You already put your apocrypha away.
Oh, you want to get it chapter 7?
Yeah. See what it say real quick.
It's dealing with the 7 children.
Yeah, because he was asking about but he had the wisdom of Christ. That's what he said. Mind you, Christ in a sense is wisdom. He is that wisdom. He is that. What is the Hebrew word for Lord? Adawan. That's the Hebrew word for Lord, Adawan. Chapter 7, and it came to pass also that 7 brethren Is that's dealing with eating the pork?
Yeah. That's what I knew. I read.
Dude, did I go over that?
Huh?
I'm trying to see, did I go over that?
Oh, on a Wednesday? On a Wednesday?
Yeah, one Wednesday. I think I went over that. But no, let's read that real quick.
If you went over that, then you can just dedicate them to go to that video.
No, we can read it real quick.
All right, no problem.
Yeah. Let me see. It ain't that. Oh, it is kind of long. Wow. We can touch on a few points real quick. Let's read the first 5 verses.
2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers.
Yep.
Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot, which forthwith, being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the utmost parts of his body, and the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on.
Yep.
Now when he was thus maimed, and all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire, and to be fried in the pan. As the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus,
What they said.
The Lord God looketh upon us, and in truth.
Hold up real quick.
I got you.
Yeah, go grab that for me. Slot, we got somebody knocking at the door. We about to open that up real quick. But I'm going to see if I can keep reading on, see if my vision is good looking at there. Verse 6, And the Most High looked upon us, and in truth had, upon us, and truth had comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, And he shall be comforted in his servants. So when the first was dead, after this manner, they thought the second to make him a mocking stock. And then they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair. They asked him, Wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body? So this is one of the key things. We're not going to go down like that. We're not about to fall like that. We're going to keep this thing going, and we're not going to eat that pork. So if you think you can destroy me by doing this to me, and that's the thing, we all should take that same step in that same faith in doing that. We should not want to come. We should not want to partake in these things. Whenever they try to go one way, we fight against that. Who will stand up for the Most High against this wickedness? You got a whole family that stood up against wickedness. They saw the wickedness going on. We ain't about to be partakers on that. You want to kill me? Kill me, homeboy. And that's that.
Like, can I say something?
Come on.
I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago or maybe last week when I was, going over Maccabees on a Friday night. I was trying to explain every aspect of, the unusual things that we touch on for Hanukkah. Because a lot of people just think it's dedication for the temple, and it's not. It's just that. I already touched one point where we dedicate the men that passed, that died for our people, and we dedicate the men who are willing to die for our people today. But one point that I realized is that we also honor the Black and Hispanic mothers and fathers that are teaching our people to be Israelites, teaching their children to keep the laws of our fathers, right? Because you know what? It's because they're doing that. This is the reason why we have such men like Judas and Maccabeus. If Mattathias wasn't raising his son to keep the laws and to love his people, guess what? Would he have followed the steps of Mattathias after he died? No, he wouldn't. But it's because he honored his father and he kept the law, statute, commandments like his father raised him to do. That's why he did it. So I think it was last Friday I was saying a point. We honor you, Black and Hispanic fathers and mothers, is because the same thing you're doing for your children, Mattathias didn't. And your son, He's going to teach a drug dealer, a MS-13 member, a Blood, a Crip. He's going to teach them a better way of life. I mean, because of you. This is the reason why this is another aspect we honor the day of dedication. That's why we implore you to keep it with us here at VLI Zion.
So like that's something that that's powerful. We had to bring that out. I have to touch on that because that's one of the powerful things that this is what this is. We got to come back. Each one teach one, and it started at the home, trying to raise our kids up in this truth, like he said, so they can go out and teach the truth. That's what we got to do.
Teach your daughters that there's better ways to entertain yourself than have a MyFans only account.
Exactly. Right. And you know something I found powerful? I'm going to bring it out because it just came out on HBO Max, I think. Mm-hmm. King Williams. Is it King Williams?
Oh, Netflix?
No, not Netflix. It's on HBO Max. The Serena Williams.
Oh, okay.
And Venus Williams' daddy.
Oh, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just came out. It was wild, but I can look at it as powerful. It's messed up at the end, to where as we know what happened with Venus and Serena, they both went and married some Edomites.
Right.
And one of the things that the father kept telling him is what happened when he was young about what these white people did to him. But yet you turn right around and marry white men after you saw the struggle your father went through and why he put this plan together. Right. He put a plan together for all his children. He had all girls, but it came out that, oh, you had a son that came up here looking for you, and you used to talk trash about how all your kids going to come find you and all this other stuff. But he had a good thing going on when he said, I put a plan together for my 2 girls. We got doctors in this house. We got lawyers in this house. Mm-hmm. So even when they came to them with a deal, honey, give them our counter offer. Since you're going to school to be a lawyer, it's time for you to practice. Give them my counter offer. That's wow. Right. But that's a great thing at the same time to see that as a father, you controlling your household. Even though, again, every household have their problems. But she stuck by that man. Even though she wanted to, if it wouldn't be for these girls, I would have left you alone. It's wild. Check the movie out. That's all I can say. Check it out. It's a nice documentary. You'll think it's about the tennis sisters, but it was more about him calling a man crazy. Because you really think your daughter gonna do that good that she could do? You think they that good? Right. He's going around and got tennis players to train them for free. If it's real like that. I mean, and if they stuck to the original story, what happened in real life. I don't know if they exaggerated on some points. You only have to read one of their books to find that out, I guess. Or really want to know their story. Because they'll bring you the movie, but after the movie, are we going to dive into what really happened? For example, like our boy Nat Turner. Yeah. A lot of people didn't know about Nat Turner until that movie came out. Right. And even with that movie coming out, they still think it's just another slave movie or another Roots or 12 Years a Slave, not knowing that this man here, homeboy, I'm about to go around and chop heads off. Because if you even looked at the movie Roots, they talked about Nat Turner in that. When Chicken George came back and Master was in the back sleep, she came outside with that shotgun talking, you one of them niggas, ain't you? You trying to come around here and kill me? She like, no, ma'am, it ain't me, ma'am. What the heck, ma'am, no. He woke up because he used to get drunk, the Master. Chicken, and that was really Chicken George's daddy, in a sense. Woke up him out the back, like, what's wrong with you, woman? Man, this nigga going around here killing white people. They talked about Nat Turner in Roots. And you know what happened? Went over everybody's head. I ain't gonna lie, I missed it. But when I start looking at Roots again, what the hell? Nigga, what? Nigga, that's Nat Turner they talking about. Hell no. So they put it there because they knew. It's wild, man. It's a wild situation. So as y'all know, doing my classes, I try to touch on different movies and shows that you go check out. Because again, it's some powerful stuff in that. But he said he's gonna touch on it more. But yeah, that's a powerful. I know I went over this one last time. Because you brought it out, this person's gonna have me just jumping around the Apocrypha. just going to be jumping around. But it's a powerful thing, though.
Right.
You feel me? Just to touch on that, because I swear I went over that because I thought it was another story dealing in Bell and the Dragon. Is it Bell? Not Bell and the Dragon. What it was? The three holy children. That's what it was. That's why I'm thrown off.
You know the only thing I'll take off from the whole Serena Williams thing with the movie and what we saw later on what happened with them marrying them Edomites. The only thing I'll take away from that is that it's not about you having two parents at home or them being there to raise you or push you like the movie showed you, having determination to give you goals. It's not about that at all. That's not going to, in the end of the day, that's not going to show you to make you become a good person later in life. Nope. What makes you a good person is if you keep these commandments. That's what's going to make you a good person. Whether you have one parent or two parents, keeping these commandments, them teach you to keep these commandments goes above everything, whether you're having one or two.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you keep them
but
commandments,
you gotta have them there, like you
said.
You got to have them there, like you said. They pushed them to that. They showed them that.
Right.
Like you just said, you have to show them that. You have to. With that, we want to say, go ahead and get that from me, the camera. Huh? Raise the camera up.
Oh, me too?
Yeah.
All right, no problem.
Yeah. Oh, no, well, you could have. You could have. Again, the water for everybody logging in. We about to send out the closing prayer. Among you upon your Hakwadam, rise and face the east. Use the handle. Use the handle. You should go ahead and just, because you know I ain't going to say it. Kind of raise it up. There we go. There we go. We're going to end it with Psalm 67. All right. Blowing of the shofar. Hallelujah. 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 Who's the power? Who's the power?
Yahweh's power.
Bahashem.
Yahushai.
Bahashem.
Yahushai.
Come. All praise be to the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. For truly his mercy endure forever. Thank you, Most High, for allowing your righteous angels to come down and feed us with the wisdom and knowledge and understanding written of in thy scriptures. Most High, please send out your healing angels amongst all Yasharala, the repentant and the unrepentant, that they may be healed and come back into the fold, that we may get out of this captivity. Bring them back their true nationality. Teach them that they should not be worshiping or celebrating this in this season, in a sense, dealing with Thanksgiving and the Christmas, and as they turn into maniacs on Black Friday and going out knocking each other down for a little trinket. As we know, these trinkets mean nothing and they will burn with everything else with the fervent heat that comes down. Please receive our prayer and our supplication as we read Psalm 67.
The book of Psalms, chapter 67. Yahweh will be merciful unto us.
Yahweh will be merciful unto us.
And bless us.
And bless us.
And cause his face to shine upon us.
And cause his face to shine upon us.
Salah.
Salah.
That thy way may be known.
That thy way may be known.
Upon earth.
Upon earth.
Thy saving health.
Thy saving health.
Among all nations.
Among all nations.
Let the people praise thee.
Let the people praise thee.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let all the people praise thee.
Let all the people praise thee.
Let all the nations be glad.
Let all the nations be glad.
And sing for joy.
And sing for joy.
For thou shalt judge the people.
For thou shalt judge the people.
Righteously.
Righteously.
And govern the nations upon earth.
And govern the nations upon earth.
Salah.
Salah.
Let the people praise thee.
Let the people praise thee.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let all the people praise thee.
Let all the people praise thee.
Then shall the earth.
Then shall the earth
yield her increase.
Yield her increase.
And Yahweh.
And Yahweh.
Even our own power.
Even our own power.
Shall bless us.
Shall bless us.
Yahweh shall bless us.
Yahweh shall bless us.
And all the ends of the earth.
And all the ends of the earth.
Shall fear him.
Shall fear him.
Abanawa. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Hamashiach,
Yahushai,
Thawada,
Tham Yad,
Aman. Get the Most High hand. Again, family, the water for always logging in and tuning in to Wednesday Wisdom with me. Your Captain Shamshawan, and I had a special guest with me today.
Captain Monazazak.
Khan, he goes over the history on Friday, so please tune in to that class so you can get some understanding on the history of Yasharallah. With that, I say shalom.